Good evening, everybody. Hopefully volume's all right. My name's Andrew Portwine, the Ultimate Canada Competition Director. As you all know, we're here for the Friday qualifying draw for CUUC 2024. Also on this call, observing is Ben Clark, another competition director with Ultimate Canada. We are going to be doing the draws tonight. We're having some technical difficulties, but in the description and in the chat, there's a link to a document where you can watch the brackets being populated as we go. So Ben is doing the technical side while I'm doing the draws. So you can use that link and check it out live as we draw. And I see on the Google Sheet, we've got a bunch of people logging in, so that's good news. Well, we have our viewers here. I would like to have a little preamble. We're going to do open draw first, as you can see on the sheet. During CEUUC, Ottawa had finished in a position to be offered a bid to Division 1. They were not in a position to accept that bid based on roster complications. The bid was offered to the next highest finishing team in the rankings, that being University of Guelph, who accepted the bid. So they are going to Division 1. With that said, Ottawa is now in the brackets tonight. And I wanted to make clarification that while Ottawa did have their results vacated at Easterns, the results of the played games were used for the purposes of seeding, so that they are seeded appropriately based on the played results, even though those results did not stand in the terms of qualifying for Div 1. This is to ensure fairness in the rankings and to make sure that Ottawa is not underseeded and misrepresented through the course of this draw for the Friday qualifier. So hopefully that clears up some of the rumors that people have probably been hearing and we've been working on in the background, obviously through a holiday weekend, and it is a bit of a complex situation. So we'll do open first. We have a couple of brackets set up. We are going to be putting two teams into each pot and drawing basically for bracket A and bracket B to see how they shake out. Teams have been seeded and obviously paired up into pots based on that seeding. I see lots of people in the sheets, no comments in the chat, so I assume volume is working and everything is good to go. So for pot 1, we have Ottawa and we have Sherbrooke going into the pot and being drawn. You'll have to forgive me. I have shoulder issues, so I'm turning the pot away because I can't raise it higher up for the draw. The first team to be pulled is Sherbrooke. I'm trusting that Ben can hear and see this, and the bracket will be updated. There we have it. Excellent. And for clarity's sake, just wanted to make sure that that was updated. We have Ottawa as our second draw. So into the next pot, we have McMaster A and Western. First team drawn out going to bracket A is Western. And of course, leaving, get that right side up, McMaster A. Pot 3, we have Laval A, Montreal A. And we have Laval A. And And of course, leaving our second team of Montreal A. Pot 4, we have Carleton A and Laurier going into the pot. And we've got Laurier coming out the first draw. And of course, leaving Carleton A. Pot 5, we have Waterloo A and York University. And we have Waterloo A. And of course, that leaves York University. Pot 6, Queens B and TMU into the pot. And we have Queens B, followed by TMU. Pot 7 is McGill B and Memorial. Good to see Memorial making the trek to Brampton. And we have McGill B and Memorial. And our final pot, number 8, we have McMaster B and Waterloo B. We have Waterloo B. And of course, McMaster B. So you can see in the document, we've got that updated for you. And when Ben is ready, we can scroll down to the women's bracket. So we have 5 pots to be drawn in the women's side of things. Pot 1, Toronto and Queens. And we have Queens drawn first, which of course leaves us with Toronto. Pot 2, we have Sherbrooke and the University of Waterloo. Thank you to Sarah for reiterating the follow through in the chat on the link I've provided. We have Waterloo, which gives us Sherbrooke. If I can move my hand, the mirrored image apparently is too much for me to figure out. We have pot 3, Carleton and Guelph. Carleton. And Guelph. Pot 4, we have TMU and Western. TMU. And Western. Leaving us with pot 5 to be populated by Memorial and Laval B. And we have Memorial again. Geez, this mirrored image. And Laval B should be our final draw. And there we have it. Women's brackets are populated. So we'll leave those for a moment to take a look. Thank you to Ben for populating those, and thank you to everyone for using a link. Some technical difficulties getting the two of us on screen simultaneously to do a joint venture on a single link. If there are any questions, I'll hang out for a few moments if need be. If there's anything in the chat, awfully quiet here, so maybe not as exciting of a draw as we thought it would be. While waiting, what I will say is with the schedules being populated, I will transfer those to the Ultimate Canada staff. As soon as we're done this call, they will compile that for the captain's email, and that should go out to you at some point through the day tomorrow. So you'll have the schedules and you'll have the captain's package, captain's email as well, with that included. So stay tuned through the day tomorrow, and you should have all of your details for the upcoming event. I'm not seeing any questions or comments in the chat, so I can only assume everybody is satisfied and happy with the draw. So yeah, thank you, Devin. Incredibly riveting. It's my magnetic presence on TV, I assume. So we have a question about regional diversity not factored into the rankings. Top 2 Ontario, top 2 Quebec. So some of that is we don't want to force regional diversity. The Eastern Championships is available for Quebec and Ontario to participate in, and Quebec did not participate as heavily in the Eastern Championships to gain some results and produce results that could have got teams seeded into the top, more Quebec teams into the top 4. So based on games played, the Ontario teams have played more games against opponents across Ontario and Quebec. The Quebec teams mostly stayed within Quebec at their provincial championships, and it was harder to force Quebec teams up the rankings when they have just less games played and less data for us to make an informed decision upon. So that is the underlying result. We didn't want to force regional diversity in that instance. Just taking a look. No other questions. So I'll pass along a good luck to everybody at the Friday qualifiers, or Div 1 and 2, or Div 3 if there's some Div 3 folks that are watching out of general interest. But good luck at the upcoming event, and we'll see you in Brampton at the fields. Thank you very much.